Hatch 1, hatch 2. Good afternoon. How y'all doing today? Now y'all know we've made a stakeout pole, and then after that we went ahead and made brackets for holding our paddle, holding our stakeout pole. We mounted those to the kayak. Well, what we're going to do now, we're going to install the access hatches so I can get to the inside of this kayak, at least inside the hull at the back of the kayak. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do about the front yet, but as far as the back of the kayak, we're going to install some access hatches and we're going to get started. I've already removed the seat and I made a template to fit my hatch. So I can draw my lines on my kayak so I can cut it out. Trying to be as precise as possible here. So it's just a little piece of cardboard. I marked it, cut it out so the access hatch will fit down through the hole. We're going to mark our kayak with it, and then we're going to start cutting our holes. Alright, we've got our template. We're going to put our hatch right here. We've got it marked, and I thought about cutting it out with a jigsaw. My son's got my good jigsaw. I'm helping him do some home repairs, and he's got the good jigsaw. So I don't know if I want to cut it with a jigsaw or cut it with my Dremel. I think we're going to try the Dremel. Got my Dremel with a cutoff wheel, and we're going to see about cutting it out with this. Alright, got that far. Let's get the rod holder out of the way. Now we got access to get to what we want to get to. Obviously, it ain't gonna fit right now. We're going to have to clean up the edges a little bit, but not by much. So what I'm going to do, I go get a drum sander and put on the Dremel, and we'll clean up these edges a little bit. Okay guys, we got our drum sander on our Dremel. We're going to clean up these holes. We're going to leave it like that. Not too bad. Next thing we're going to do is silicone this thing. Get some silicone on it and seal it. Now, one of the reasons, guys, I put this on here, or one of the reasons I'm putting this hatch on, is I want to access the inside of this kayak. Reason I want to access the kayak, I want to take these mounts off. These mounts are for a bracket for a trolling motor. This kayak came with the mount. It came with the trolling motor when I bought it. I've used the trolling motor one time. Where I fish, it's really not feasible. I got a couple of places I fish where I can put in at the boat ramp, use the trolling motor, shoot across the little lake to my fishing spot, and then I can fish. But once I get across the lake, I don't use it. I can't use it. Most of the places I fish have grass, lilies, emergent grass, submergent grass, brush in the water, bogs down in the water. I can't use the trolling motor. And pretty much really don't even want to. I mean, I do this without electronics. I've said I do it without electronics. I've done it without a trolling motor. I've used this trolling motor once. And it's just not going to work for the type of fishing I do. So we're going to take the mounts off the kayak. We got the bracket. We got the trolling motor. We're going to put those up for sale because we're not going to use them. And it's all new. It's been used twice. The guy I got the kayak from used the trolling motor once, or at least that's what he said. And I have used it once. So I'm not going to use it. Don't need it. We'll put it out there for somebody that can use it. Okay. Got our mount off on this side. I can't reach the other side. I'm going to end up putting a hatch on that side too. But we're going to go ahead and put our silicone on our hatch so we can get ready to put it in. Guys, one hatch installed, one access hatch installed. This has to have an O-ring, a seal on it, so it'll all be what we siliconed it in, and it'll all be waterproof. One access hatch installed. Now we can put our rod holder back here. Now, we do have 4 holes here, and we got 4 holes where the screws come out, and I've got the piece I cut out. So what I'll probably do is heat this up real well with a hairdryer, and then I'll get out my soldering iron and I'll melt pieces of this in there, pieces of the scrap piece that we cut out. I'll melt pieces of that in there, close those holes up. All right, rod holders in. And what I'm also going to do is, I don't like these screws just going into my kayak. So once this cures, that silicone sits up. Once it cures, I'll take these screws out, drill the holes. I'll put different screws in with washers and lock nuts on the back to help give it a little more stability, a little more holding power. But there we go. That hatch is in. All right, folks, hatch is in. Got a rod holder back in place. I'm going to continue on. I'm going to do the other side so I can get that other mount off. I just can't reach all the way over there from where this hatch is, and I had nowhere else to put the hatch. So I ordered 2 of these hatches, 1 for each side. And we'll go ahead and get the other side put in, get that mount taken off there. And then I'm going to decide whether I'm going to leave the rear paddle mount or paddle bracket and stakeout pole bracket there, or if I'm going to drill through the kayak and mount them to the inside, straight to the kayak. Right now, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. It really doesn't matter. The brackets aren't in the way. They're just a little longer than I'd like to see them. But it is what it is right now. So I'm going to get this other hatch put in, get that mount taken off, get the seat and everything put back in. And I appreciate y'all watching. Hopefully this taught you something or helped you out in some way. If you need some way to access the inside of your hatch or the inside of your hull for your kayak, put an access hatch in it. These were 4-inch hatches. I ordered them online. The 2 of them together were about 16 bucks. They do have a seal where when you put the top on it, it does seal. Just need some silicone to go around the access panel itself when you put it in to seal it. Some stainless steel screws. Like I say, I prefer washers and lock nuts on the inside, and this will get them. I just don't have any right now, at least not that size. So I need to go down and get some screws and some washers and some lock nuts and redo it. But we're going to get the hatch put in on the other side and get this thing back together. All right, guys, hatch 1, hatch 2. Before I go putting the seat and all back in here, I'm gonna go down and get some different screws. I don't like these screws just going into the kayak like that. So I'm gonna go down and get some, I don't know, probably 10/28 screws with flat washers and lock nuts to go on them. And I'll take these screws out, reach up in there, put the other screw in, reach up in, put a flat washer and a lock nut on it. And that way I'll feel better if nothing else. Then we got the 4 holes where we took the mounts off. And then I'm gonna have 2 holes over here where I gotta take this off. This goes with the bracket for the trolling motor. I've got the piece I cut out for my access panels. And I'll probably just take this piece and like I said, heat that area up with a hairdryer, get it good and warm. Take a soldering iron and just melt some of this down into there and close those holes up, and these on the side as well. So there you have it. We're done. All right, guys. We got our kayak back together. Got the hatches put in. Access from under the seat. I don't think that I can reach him when the seat's down, but there we go. I got access to the inside of my hull. We siliconed them in. Got silicone between the outer ring and the kayak, and then the door itself is sealed with the O-ring, so it's waterproof. So there you have it, guys. If you need to gain access to part of your hull, you want to put in some hatches. We ordered these hatches online. I believe it was like $16 for the two of them. Plus we went out and bought stainless steel screws, flat washers and lock washers to put them in with. Put the screws through the hatch, through the kayak. Stainless steel flat washer on the back with a lock nut. Tighten them all down. They're going to work real well for what I need them to do. And if you need hatches or a way to access the inside of your kayak, this is one way to do it. Hope this helped you guys out. I hope you can get some use out of it. And y'all take care. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you on the water a little bit later.